Hello, everyone, and welcome to a weekly message from Jesus. Each week, we try to bring you words of our Lord. He always has these great messages. Hopefully, you pass them on to your friends and tell them about it. I hope that all of you are having a blessed new year and that you're living up to some of the expectations that you made for yourselves. It's going to be a difficult year, and I suspect you're going to be needing the messages that our Lord brings us. So, anyway, He's here. So let us begin. Hello, everyone. Indeed, it is going to be a bit of a difficult year, but humans should be used to difficult years. There's nothing easy about a human life. There's nothing that a human can do to make it an easy life. Now, you can not dwell upon all the problems. You can lean on me for information, and help, and guidance. You see, it can be very, very difficult or it can be less difficult. I guess that's the best way to describe it. As a human, you have to use your free will. You have to make decisions. You have to do things that quite often you don't want to do. And you have to do things that at times seem very, very difficult. You have to face death. You have to watch your loved ones pass. You see generations. There are different generations among humans. Your parents, for instance, you will probably have to watch the passing of your parents, of your grandparents, of those older than you are. And you'll have to learn what grief is and missing. Death doesn't diminish the love that you have for someone, it accelerates in many instances. When you truly miss someone, it's very difficult, but it's something that you have to learn. You have to learn to be strong and you have to learn to make your own decisions and you have to learn to follow your own path. You see, your path is separate from anyone else's. Your parents can try to make it easier for you, but you have to follow your own path. Today it can be very difficult. I speak of this often. There are people that are at war with different countries. Economically, it's very difficult. Your governments have allowed inflation to take place. Your governments have made some bad decisions, and it affects all of you. And in many instances, there's very little you can do about that. You just simply have to cope. You have to make the proper decisions to guide you into your future. If you believe in me, you have a foundation of belief and you have a foundation upon which you can build. Individuals that don't believe in me do not have that foundation, so they're on their own. Quite often, you sit back and you look at these incredibly successful, wealthy people, and you know that they don't believe in me. So, how is it so that these people are allowed to prosper and good people are allowed to suffer? You see, those people with great wealth in their future lives, they will not have that wealth because they're not helping others. They're given a choice. That wealth is their challenge. They can use the wealth to help others, or they can just simply be greedy and keep it for themselves and for their families. All of the people that are living in poverty that you see in other countries, perhaps, or even in this country, most of them had great wealth in their past lives and didn't use it. So now in their future lives, they have to understand what they did. Most of them will never even be aware that they had lives of great wealth. It'll be forgotten. All they'll know is that they are having problems even finding something to eat in this lifetime. But you see, this is what they deserve. They created that karma. They were given a chance. All humans are given chances. And what you do with those chances determines how you're greeted when you return and how your future lives are lived. It's very simple. You lead a good life now, your future lives will be much different. They'll be improved. Maybe you will have a chance in your future life to accumulate great wealth. And then you will be tested. You see, you have to sometimes decide upon grief, upon how you're going to handle difficult situations. Every day you are forced to make decisions. And that is good. That's what humans are supposed to do. They're supposed to make decisions that help others and make decisions for themselves. Many people suffer depression. There's many reasons for it, but each individual has to fight that depression. They have to use that inner strength. You see, there's a spark of God in everyone, and that gives you inner strength. You may never realize it, but it's there. It's something that you can draw on to help yourself. God has given you many, many things. You have beautiful planet. Many people, it seems like they want to see how fast they can pollute it. Well, that this planet gives you life. If you kill this planet, it'll stop giving you life as well. And then there simply will not be humans. And over the next couple million years, another species will come to the planet and it will evolve. And we'll see if that species can learn better than humans did. That's the way of things. If anything suffers failure, it will be replaced by something else. If you cannot perform in your job and you lose your work, somebody will replace you. When you die, there will be people come in your place. And those people will be tested as you were. All living forms die. That's the way of things. I tell you this every week. Each morning when you get up, you do not know how many days you have until your time of passing comes. So you must prepare for it. You must live every day like there is no other day to come. In most instances, there are days to come, but how you live that life, the decisions that you make, what you do with your time, that is a critical question. Time is important for humans right up until the moment they pass. Humans can set an example even on their deathbeds. They can look forward to what is about to take place for them because it is the most wonderful day of their lives. It's a day that they return to heaven. It's the day that they understand truly what took place in the life that has just passed. It can be good and it can be bad, but that is totally up to you. Helping others will make it good. the more that you do to help someone else. That is the best for your soul. I try to talk of my teachings and my words in many different ways. As I tell you many times, sometimes it's difficult because my teachings are so very, very simple. I don't understand why humans have to complicate everything. Humans can be very simple. They can do exactly what they need to do. They can love one another and they can do what is referred to as the golden rule. Don't do anything to anyone else that you do not want done to you. Do not show hatred. Do not show anger. You hear these words every week. They're words that I spoke when I walked the earth. They're simple words. As I tell you many times, when I walked the earth, my teachings were incredibly simple. I spoke to individuals that had never been to school, that could not read and write. They learned to raise families. They fished, they did carpentry, they did many things. They had intellectual capacity. They could learn when they were told. When I told them to do something, they learned what I told them. They paid attention and they decided on their own that they wanted to follow my teachings and my words. I healed others. I did many things. So, yes, I showed them that I was special and that I had special capabilities. I had to do that. They had to understand that they were talking to a different person, a special person. Now, I want you to pay attention to the fact of one thing. I was a very special person. I was God on earth. I was Jesus. I could heal. I could do miracles. But I never used that for self-betterment. You see, I wore the sandals, the simple cloth of the poor person because I was. I could have used those special abilities that I had to build great wealth. But I wanted to prove to the world that I could show great results without the trappings of wealth. I intentionally maintained a low standard that you would refer to of living. I don't want you to think that you have to make great wealth in order to accomplish much. Today, it's quite simple. You have access to social media, televisions, telephones. You have many ways to contact people. You have many ways to influence people. You don't need great wealth today to be a great influence to others. You can speak simple words. You can tell others that it is possible to hear my words every Wednesday morning, that they can go online and find the words that I speak. The things are very, very simple. And if you listen to these messages, your life will improve. My messages are not going to change. They're not going to become complicated. They're going to always stay very simple. You might think that they're quite boring, that you've heard these words before. Well, you have. And you will continue to. But you see, I will have to keep repeating these words until they sink in. Humans can be very hard headed, they can be blockheads, they can be very stubborn. They can think that they know more than God, but they don't. They will never know as much or even a smallest percentage of what I know. You see, I even know what's on your minds. I know how you're going to respond to my words today. Some of you are wonderful people that listen and follow every one. But there will be people that hear these words and go out and do exactly what they want to do. But there are even more people that will refuse to listen to these words because they know best. They know how to influence their own lives. Maybe they know how to make great wealth. But they don't know how to be received well when they return to heaven. Maybe they think that their great wealth will allow them to buy medicines that will extend their lives, maybe even forever. Maybe like God, these humans will be on the planet, will be around for eons, for generations. I can assure you that's not going to happen. The individuals with great wealth may go out of their way to do so much in order to extend their lives. But there will be a time when they come back to heaven. And that is the time that they will learn how they have wasted their lives. Don't waste your lives. Don't sit around and be depressed. Don't go, oh, woe is me. It is so difficult. Go out and do the best you can. Go for walks in my woods, in my mountains. Go fishing. Go boating. Do many things. Do many things that will take your mind off the problems that you have. Your problems aren't going to go away. They're going to remain. Problems will be replaced by other problems. That is the way of life for humans. But face those problems. Problems have answers. Some problems are harder to solve than others, but you are capable, through prayer and guidance, to solve most of the great problems in your life. There may be problems that you can't solve because it's part of your life plan. Maybe because of prior lives, you have to solve certain problems. Many people, as I told you earlier, are living in poverty because they had great wealth in their past lives and didn't use it to help others. You see, that's very difficult for them in this life to gain any type of wealth to pull them out of this poverty because they need to learn their lesson. Once they learn their lesson, then they will be allowed to advance and their future lives will be much different. But if you create a bad karma, only you can solve that karma. And trust me when I tell you, some karmas are very difficult to solve. I want you all to have wonderful lives. That's all I want. I want you to listen to my words, and I want you to create a world where everyone coexists, loves, and gets along. When that happens, you will find just how comfortable a human life can be. So thank you for listening. Thank you for telling others. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing the things that I know you are capable of doing. So I will return again next week. I will have some more simple words for you. I'll try to rephrase them so that you're not bored, but they will be very simple. I can assure you of that. I bless all of you. Thank you for listening and thank you for telling others. Goodbye. Thank you, Father. Another excellent message. We've done over 150 of them now, and they're all equally as powerful. And they're all available on my YouTube channel. It's in my name. We're doing some other things to try to make a lot of this information more easily available. So stick with us. We'll keep trying till we get it right. Goodbye. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.